Raphael. Hi, nice to meet you.
I always put them on the spot right there with the intro, man. No rehearsals. This is all live, and even if you see it later, pretend like it's live because trust me, life is moving at a fast speed right now, man. Typically, we start at 7 p.m. Eastern every Thursday, but I had some stuff going on. If you've been following any of my story, if you know what I got going on, I just recently moved back into my home after a house fire. So we were doing some stuff today. Got pushed back to 8 p.m. Eastern, but glad to be up here to discuss some things with not just my fellow collaborative partner on SpeakDads, but the founder of SpeakDads. Elliot, before we get into this, man, can you let the people know what SpeakDads is, the purpose of it, all that good stuff, man?
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm happy to. So SpeakDads is a place where we found a thing called the blindfold effect. And it works like this. Guys go into a group and they don't know who they're talking to. So there's no bias. And that same bias that protects us also limits us. So it allows us to be able to have a conversation that doesn't have the same bias, but does still have accountability. And so instead of guys getting another lecture, they get together in a group, they have communication, they hold each other accountable in positive ways and work on some problem solving that's really positive, and come out stronger. That's really all that it is a place for guys to be able to get together and come out stronger.
Yeah, it's a place of support, man. We've got a few things going on. There's support groups. There's a supportive platform where you can go over there and get some good information and connect with some people. But all in all, man, it's a place in 2025 that's needed. It's not just cool shirts and cool merch, by the way, man. As I say, cool shirts and cool merch.
100%.
It's community, man, and we're building something special. I know one of the things that I discussed with Elliot was wanting to start sort of this podcast things where people can ask questions about fatherhood, about life, about leadership, about any of the things, man. Speak Dads is not a conversation that's limited to. It's just a starting. And it's definitely putting emphasis on something that I shine a light on. For somebody, I work in mental health, and I continue to shine a light on the 2,000 men a day, give or take, which is another important reason that we got safe spaces like this. And before we get into the conversation, man, if you need help, please get help. You know, if
100% reach out. Absolutely.
To us, you can reach out to anybody, but please, man, you're worth it. Know that you're valuable and true, man. Elliot.
Yes.
Listen, man. I like to start off going in like I don't.
Of course.
I got 1,000,006 topics over here. I want to talk about what's going on right now in my life because we just had a baby.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. How's that? Got a lot more real?
Well, here's the thing, right? I didn't know and I didn't understand as a man. Well, one, I didn't understand we weren't even allowed at baby showers typically until like a few years. I didn't know there was a whole shift. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Right.
Yeah.
I'm in there. I'm extremely happy. I'm in there. I'm crying, all that. But let me tell you something. Baby showers are exhausting, man. The thought dealing with family. I love my family and all that. Mm-hmm. But I was so glad for that part to be over, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like nice. There's pressure there, right? But here's the 1,000% transparent, true situation on my intake on it, or this look, my input on this baby shower thing. When I was sitting in there, I was like, these are the people I'm going to allow around my kid. Yeah. I wasn't thinking about celebrate. I mean, I was, but it was deeper than that.
Yeah.
I was like, these are the people I'm going to allow around my kid. Like, this is serious to me. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know it or not, because
very serious business.
Like, was I over analyzing?
No. Welcome to being a dad.
I love all my people.
Yeah, that's still the job. That's still the job. At least, and again, everybody does it different, but where I come from, your job is Overwatch, and you should be in high gear because your wife's job, she's like Maxwell song, woman's work, all the things that she's doing, all that. She needs some time off. You're going to have to be hyper vigilant. You know what I mean? Like, of course, and watching everybody and watching, yeah, man, you get one go round.
Speaking of hyper vigilant, to all my parents out there, including Elliot, that got more than one child, I don't know how y'all do it The third trimester, we're not even there yet. You know some stuff. I spoke about it last week. The third trimester is off the hook.
Yeah.
The first trimester, she's throwing up. It's normal. Everybody throws up. Good signs. That's what's supposed to be happening. Second trimester, it's like, not that bad. We're chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Third trimester.
War. I love my wife. I'm not. And here's the thing. I don't think it's them. Like, I think their body goes into super overdrive and everything takes a backseat to like make the baby right.
There's a human being inside of the first.
Yes. Draining everything that it takes to make a baby from her.
There was a place where she was amped up and ready to roll. I got this. We moved.
Yeah.
We move. I just discussed that. That's part of the delay. She's not nothing heavy, but she's grabbing like a little bag of stuff, walking into the house. All leading up to the baby shower, mind you. The whole time I'm like, yo, I got it. I got my brothers. We're grabbing as much. But when I'm not here, I got Superwoman as a wife. Shout out to the women that that really.
Big ups on being able to even move when it comes to being pregnant, especially third trimester. Yes.
Because I'm sitting there and I'm watching, I'm like, yo, we good. Baby shower comes. Later that night, family are over, everything's good. She eats a nacho, right? Mm-hmm. The whole next day, she's down. I'm talking about down. Can't eat. She got food poisoning.
Yeah.
Week before, had to do the Heimlich.
Yeah.
Now, even though she's shooking off the food poison, she's back. No energy.
Yeah.
No movement.
Yeah.
Starting to realize just how much my wife really was doing when it came to our home, our life. Did I take that for granted? Am I like tripping? Because now I'm like,
no. Like here's the thing, right? Like, okay, so let me share something that people were kind enough to tell me until they were blue in the face to help me out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I dead serious, because I didn't get it, right? So like my first year of being married and my first year of having biological twins were the same year for me. So that changes the dynamics of what it means to be in your first year of marriage and what it means to have a family. Not to mention there are two other children that we started as a family of four, and then the twins showed up. Does that make sense? We were already fathers, Addie, Archie, all that before that happened. Right. So that part of like who your wife is, it's like the most taxing task ever. So like if they do it well, it robs them of everything, and they would give it willingly to the betterment of this little thing. That's amazing, right? But that costs them in ways they may not be aware of. And that's not like being a pick-me for women. That's saying like, because I totally believe in accountability for women, but there's a part of accountability for people where you go, if you can't say it, I can still love you through it.
Yeah.
And there's a part where you're building a human. You think it's scary for us. There's a bunch of times that they get scary moments they don't tell us, so we don't walk around with blood pressure through the roof ready to have a stroke.
I underestimate. I can only imagine like
we couldn't possibly know. And I don't mean that funny. I mean, you've got something inside you, so every time something happens or they kick or they don't kick or they do whatever, you're always afraid of whatever's going on and all those things. And she's facing that front row at all times. So even if you're a super strong person, that takes a toll. Like I'm not demeaning anyone's strength for them to be human enough for this to take a lot out of them. It's a big task.
You know, stress me out.
What?
My wife can't even move right now. She has no energy.
Yeah.
Like we're just at that part of the pregnancy, right? And she's sitting there on the bed and she's telling me, right, we're there now. And
last week, we remember I said, by the way, when you told
me, you know, and she's in bed and she's like, I feel so horrible. I can't help. I'm like, yo, you're growing our child inside. What else do you want to do? And then I'm trying to, but we're in the third, so you can't, everything is,
No. Yeah. War.
I'm not prepared. I am prepared as we go, I guess, the best I can be. And how I prepared was I got support around me and people that have already been down the journey because I don't know.
Right. Otherwise, there is no prepared, bro. there's like kind of ready, but it doesn't work. I don't mean it like negative for anybody. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are, it doesn't work that way. There's something that you're gonna be like, what? Like, because even if you take care of all the big stuff, then there's little stuff you weren't thinking of that's coming that blitzes you.
It's more serious now, right? If I don't know, if I get into an accident in my car, that's one thing. It's me and my car. Now I got a kid. My kid's in the backseat. We're not
It's all for keeps.
Everything is more intense. I don't know what's going. Listen, I had a moment. You know, we talk about life. It's already shifting me. I don't want anybody to take this out of context. Watching this. I'm a former hothead. Right? A lot of us were former hotheads. We're growing up. But every now and then, a little hotness is still in my I had a situation. Allow me to tell a story really quick, if you will.
Sure, please.
This is real life, guys. And shout out to everybody, man. We've had good numbers tonight, man. I'm seeing y'all.
That's great, man.
15. Shout out to y'all, man.
Thanks, guys.
So Tuesday, buddy calls me up. He's like, "Hey, I got stage time for you." Started doing this stand-up comedy.
How did that go, by the way?
It hasn't came yet, but I'm gonna get to that.
Okay. I was like, okay, I see you get it, baby, get it.
I'm almost there. I'm actually booked at Laughing Skull Lounge coming up.
Yeah,
October 28th, which is a big thing here in Atlanta for comics or whatever. So
that's awesome.
I'm excited, right? It's gonna be more therapy for me, I think, than anything. That's what I'm intrigued by. But my man calls me up. He's like, "Yo, come downtown. I got stage time for you." I'm like, "Where?" He's like, "Blah blah blah." I ain't gonna put him on blast right now because I talked to him anyway. This is all my views. This is none of SpeakDads. I gotta
listen. My parents were both in music, and so was I for long enough to know.
So you understand
anything with showbiz? Yeah.
Okay.
There's always a pump fake. Yeah, I get it.
Totally get it. There you see already.
You get the pump fake.
And I never got.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Devontae, man.
Appreciate Devontae.
So he's like, "Yo, we got stage time." I get down there. It's an open mic. This is a really popular place in Atlanta. All the famous or up and coming musicians, comics, people come through this spot right now. Get there. We're on time. I meet the host. He's introducing me to comics. There's a couple famous comics in there. You know, one of them.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell this story. One of the comics did the roast for Tom Brady or what. So there's some big
Okay, good.
Here's a sign-up sheet for the open mic. I put my name on it, number 3, not first. I'm not going first. I don't want to wait till last though, because everybody else might really be funny. So we're gonna be strategic. Put the name on there. I'm shaking everybody's hands. I go sit down at the table. Mind you, it's a 51-minute drive from my house just to get there.
Okay.
I should have included that. Mind you, my wife is pregnant. Mind you, the open mic's at 8:30. Mind you, I'm not inside my house at 8 p.m. Unless it better be a good reason. There, let's start there.
I get it.
What are we leaving our house for?
I have nothing to be out there for. There's nothing out there for me. I stay at home. That way I can't get in trouble. I know I'm gonna get it wrong. I stay home. Where are you at? Home. Hard.
Yeah, that's
hard.
This is where the heart is, literally. My heart. But I get it. I sit at the table. They get cranking up. Hilarious host. She opens up. They bring a comic up. He knocks out the park. Next guy comes up. I'm like, okay, I'm next. My heart's beating through my chest. I'm getting ready to bomb. But let's get it over with, right?
Right.
They call the third comic up, and it's not me. My man sends me the list. He texts me the list. I'm looking at the list. He's like, I don't know what happened. They took you off the list. I said, in my mind, and I had my brother with me. Shout out to Saint. Saint looked at me. I showed him. He said, I said, we need to leave now, though.
Right.
I felt slighted because nobody was even going to come tell me that they took me. And if I could assume, but at the time I would just say I was the new guy in the mix, but I didn't know that
Right.
that's how this thing
Right.
works. I thought an open mic was really an open mic.
No,
Had
you
no
gotta know
idea.
somebody.
But here's what I did. Here's why I jacked.
You gotta grease somebody.
You got to. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
I don't know nothing. But my
That's
man,
how it works.
he's got 23 years in comedy, and the promoters is his homeboy.
He done greased some handshakes too. I promise you.
I wish he would have told me. I would have
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody else did. I promise you, number 3 on that list did. Somebody did.
So,
you sure you ain't see my name? Come here, let me holler at you real quick, bro. You sure you ain't see my name over here, bro?
well, here's the thing about getting ready to be a dad.
Yes.
Mind you, I don't drink or anything like that, but we're in the lounge, everybody's drinking. So my mind's already like, I don't want to necessarily get into a back and forth with this person. I say, but I want clarification. I say, because my pride hurts right here. It's like, man, what's going on? So I tell my mans, I say, yo, get the owner. Tell him come outside. I say, I want to talk to him. I tell everybody up here if I'm perfect or not, and I'm never going to be perfect. So guess what? I'm not. All right.
My man's over here like, y'all said over bike night. I came all the way over here from
right. At this point, I want to give you a speech. I
put cases on everybody.
I don't want to fight or nothing. If anybody's watching, I don't want to fight. That's not.
No.
I do want
That's
to.
Hilarious. So.
I want to look at the guy and say, "Hey, man, you could have just said to me, you not big enough name or something." But I was also excited because you could have looked me up and maybe you would have thought different and say, "Hey, this guy can bring some whatever." We're not really
right.
My man says, "You sure?" I say, "Yeah, go get him." My brother looks at me. And you need that good brother around, right?
Sit down, bro. What are you doing?
And he didn't even have to say. He just looked at me, and the way he looked at me, it reminded me of one thing. I got a son on the way. I got a kid on the way, right? And I see you, Ariel. You said, "Bro, I finally get to see." We appreciate you hopping up here for the live, man. We got.
What's up, man? Thank you, sir.
Up here with the good brother Elliot Rafat. You can check us out here every single Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. But he looked at me and it registered, I got a son on the way.
Yeah.
And then our backgrounds, some crossover, but definitely a little different, right? And I started thinking about, but maybe not so much different in this regard right here, but I started thinking about all of my brothers or people that I knew that should still be here as fathers. That because they wanted 4 seconds of instant gratification. Because that's what it was. It was my ego and it was my pride that wanted to be heard. And yeah, even though I just wanted to be heard, people out there drinking, somebody else that was cool with him might have walked up. That next thing you know. And maybe I'm paranoid too, but I want to make it home to my kid.
That's the most important part. And so that risk factor starts becoming part of what matters in every decision, every time. It's not sometimes, it's every time.
Thank you, Ariel. Appreciate that for the subscription.
Absolutely.
Yeah, check out SpeakDads. Y'all see it, man. We got the gear. I found my SpeakDads shirt. I went crazy.
Good.
Through one of the totes we haven't fully unpacked yet, by the way.
I got you. But I have the best gift ever on the way for, not ever, but I've got a remarkably appropriate gift that somebody mentioned to me when I was sitting there doing a client interview, like a patient interview at the imaging center. And they're like, yeah, they have these. I was like, oh, I got to have that. So that's on the way. And once I have that, then I've got what I need for you. I know exactly. It's absolutely appropriate.
Well, thank you, brother.
And I was mad I didn't know about it until somebody told me. And then I was like,
now I'm intrigued, but the same.
Yeah, I promise you, you're gonna like it. It's cool though. Very cool. Very cool.
Man,
it's a very Elliot thing.
Oh, that makes it even better. I need you to do another skit where you're pretending to be me and let me post. No, I'm serious. No. I need you to really do that and let me post it on my channel and blast it out there. My wife cracks up laughing about that.
Absolutely. You post that one. I promise you, somebody will like it because it makes a lot of sense. It is you.
I don't care if your house burned down. You need to go.
Absolutely. You just ask somebody like, hey, no, when my house burned down, I still posted. What was your excuse now? Like,
right. When I had one arm and
one arm and couldn't do that.
But it's because of support, and even that was a tough season, but this season is tough. And I just want to say thank you in front of everybody, man, because you like 911. And shout out to Nurse Kim. I don't know if I shouted her out.
Absolutely did. And I told her about it too. I was like, man, more than you know. Very much appreciate it. She
Yeah.
helped me out. Still helps me out 100%. She's solid.
Phone with Nurse Kim. I ain't got nothing, no pride, no nothing when it comes to that. But
you get to be a parent.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it's real now.
But you're that person now, like that level of like I'm afraid, that always exists. Even at the high emotional level, that always exists now. Like, yeah. But here's the thing. This is intense, right? Your scale for intensity is about to go through the roof, like your scale for violence went through the roof going to prison. I'm not kidding. Your scale for intensity is going to get that far, because like having it's like having your heart walk around in somebody else's body that you can't control. And no matter what you want to do, you cannot completely protect them. I don't care what you tell me. I don't care how good you are at it. Listen, I have had my children with learning specialists and no daycare outside of that, and they still found ways to get hurt. Does that make sense? And not even somebody neglecting them. I mean, with their grandmother, they just bumped his head into.
What can I don't want to.
No, go ahead.
What do you do in a situation like that? What, like, somebody's watching your child, obviously somebody you trust, obviously. But
yeah.
Something happens, like, does that impact you allowing that person to watch them again, even if they weren't at fault? Like, how do you feel? Because I'm already like, I don't want nobody to have my kid. And maybe
okay. And I agree with that ideology, but there's a few things that are true, right? That I've learned for me. And everybody's situation is different, so I get it. But I think that having access to grandparents is a luxury that I have, that I'm blessed with, right?
My mom lives with us.
That's a blessing. So the time that you can have with that is amazing. The time for them to raise kids is amazing. If they get hurt, you're going to establish some boundaries with somebody, but unless they're allowing a kid to literally just jump off of something intentionally, little kids get hurt walking. That's why they're soft, so they can slap into stuff and be okay. It's not about them like doing something different or intentionally being, you know what I mean? Like trying to get hurt. Little kids just, they hurt. They don't know better. They chew everything. They'll swallow anything. They stuff everything in their nose and ears. And again, all they do is wait for you to slip. And then they grab something and try to shove it in their eyeball. It's not like you did anything. Or they put their feet in their mouth constantly and end up with foot and mouth disease, because God help you, they're kids. Like, there's...
Wait. Foot and mouth disease. What do you mean?
Yeah.
What is that?
Let me back up. No, let me back up. I'll make some things really easy. No. I forgot to tell you this. So whooping cough is the thing that you like the one thing. Okay, yeah. So look, you get your vaccination. You go get your vaccination. Everybody else that's around the baby gets their vaccination. Listen. Let me shout out to. Let me give this honest moment of somebody their flowers. Shout out to my wife's entire side of the family, because I drew a very hard line, because I believe that whooping cough is something that I was afraid of my child getting. I have 2 twins, right? Mm-hmm. So I was afraid of them getting whooping cough. Okay. If you didn't have a vaccine, you were not able to see them until they were old enough to be able to be past that. No disrespect. You're welcome to be around them, but if you don't get that done, you won't be around these children until that happens. Shout out to my father-in-law. He went and got one. I mean, my mom and dad got him, you know what I mean, off rip. But my father-in-law, he went and got one. My brother-in-laws, both of them went and got them. I got to honor that, man. Because here's the thing. We like to tell it, right? But as men, if I'm going to tell it in transparency.
I'm texting my wife right now.
Yeah, whooping cough. Stop playing with me, bro.
They offered, I'm going to tell you really quick. They offered the vaccine last week.
Yeah.
But there was a lot going on. It was the day after the food poisoning. And they were,
yeah.
And I'll talk about it, but she said no. But I don't, I know.
You go get it.
Right. But she can get it too. We can go back.
We're not worried about her. You.
But doesn't she need to explain that part to me?
She's pregnant. They're check and see on that. Everything is different when somebody's pregnant. So you want to double check that. That can be why anybody can be hesitant.
Yeah, for sure. Because my thought was, and I'm going to tell you in live time, with anything, like even if I feel the way, ultimately it's her body. And
Yeah.
some men,
Yeah.
they might not rock, but for me,
Sure.
as long as we can have a conversation with it, and
Yeah.
I am the one that's like, we need to get it.
And again, if you don't want to get one, don't get one. But like that was one thing that crossed my mind on the list of things. Yeah, that did cross my mind as like because I'm not. And again, let me start by saying, if you are into vaccines, if you are not into vaccines, whoever you are, God made you. They're kids. You do what you choose. Right. All I'm saying is for me and mine. We've established my respect boundary for you, so I'm gonna speak about mine now. Right. I don't give them every vaccine. I don't do all the flu. I'm not a flu vaccine joint person. I'm not knocking whoever is. I do like the major ones, but I'm also the same one that's like, hey, check me out. So you're not going to put more than one of these vials in my child at a time. I'll come back and do the shots one at a time. It's a matter of time and money. You're not about to jack my kid up with 5 medications so we don't know what's going on. I'm not playing that game. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. And I promise you, I am that parent. If they won't put it in the same vial, they didn't put it in the same child. Right. So that whole like we're going to give them these 3 versions of whatever. No, you're not. Listen, there doesn't have to be any smoke about this. We can come back because it's a matter of saying, I'm not saying they can't get it, but I'm saying they're going to get it and their little system's going to get attacked and wrecked by one thing at a time, not over and over and over everything at once and then build back from zero. I'm not doing that. I want my baby to have a different kind of a chance. That's
whooping cough it's serious. I mean, they're out for the vaccine,
bro. But I mean, with even the vaccines. So I want and shout out to my doctors too, because they're cool about it too. They gave me no smoke about it. Like they were like, so Elliot, I was like, here's my theory. They're like, what? I'm like, if you won't put it in the same vial, it doesn't need to go on my baby together. They're like, hey, I'm like, I don't mean you any disrespect, but you won't put them together. So we're not putting them together in my child's immune system. If we need to come back in 7 to 10 days, so be it. It's fine. I'll eat oatmeal. I'll eat a wish sandwich before I don't have the money to take this on my babies. Right. No, thank you. And that part of giving them a little time for recoup. Yeah, man, because I told you I think I got the circumcision thing wrong. I think I should have waited for him to get circumcised till after he latched and had that part of the view of the world and then got that done.
There's so many things that we don't think about.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like, that's the only thing I really feel like I missed, bro. Like, I missed that, and I missed him having like an ear infection one time. And other than that, I can honestly say, between like vigilance, my mom, my wife, God bless her, Nurse Kim, the whole 9. Like, I haven't missed anything else. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And the stuff I missed it on, the doctor explained to me. She was like, we missed it too. Yeah. I was like, okay. She was like, we would have had no reason to believe you had a double ear infection. You were not wrong. You didn't, you know what I mean? I'm like, because I thought I failed my kid big time, bro. That
right. You don't know. You know, but how can you not feel that way though?
Yeah. So, well, you got to but here's the part for the course, right? I realized something. You can feel that way. You can't dwell there though, because if you dwell there, then you start to think that you're something you're not, and that's perfect.
It does no one any good.
Yeah, and you can't be perfect no matter what. You hyper obsess about how you're right about something, man. You're gonna miss other stuff. So you just try to be as willing to listen and make whatever calls you think you can. You know what I mean? Get a second opinion on medicine for your kid and go from there.
It's a lot to think about. I think prior to listen, we're having conversation. I'm talking to Nurse Kim. We having this whole conversation. She's like, we're just talking about like options and choices and different things. Like you don't know. Like honestly, a lot of us men, I can't assume for the women, but from the fellas that I talk, we don't think about pregnancy like that. We just think about having a kid. We think about that's it. You know what I'm saying? We think about when he gets here or she gets here and we get to hold them and you know what I'm saying? Just really, you know, show love and cuddle them and buy them stuff. We don't think about like it's a whole ordeal for a human to grow a human inside of them and then give birth to that human. And then there's a whole bunch of serious moments, as Nurse Kim and yourself and other people have expressed to me, not necessarily meant to be scary because babies are born every day, but man, like,
but at least that way you know, so it's not like surprising when they say it to you because it feels. with your kid. Yeah.
Part of my stand-up routine is when I get out there and I tell people basically, why didn't anybody tell me? I'm about to get out there and really just start going in, especially about being a first-time dad at 42.
Just listen. You know that thing where you see that meme and they're like, they finna drag you down.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
Having a dad, being a good father.
I'm sitting there
in a good way,
right? And I know my life is not my own. To you,
right? I'm telling you, you're going to catch that. Just elbow, just repeatedly. Just
here we go. But I think that at the same time, here's what I know. This is what I know, right? And this is to my fellas out there that may be in a similar stream. Oh, I did not know that I got to do this to show the comments like that. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
We're learning right now, guys.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you for the engagement. Thanks for watching, man. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please ask.
Yeah, any questions, please, man. Don't hesitate to put them in the chat. This is a real conversation geared to stuff that's on our minds, man. Not just us, man, but SpeakDads as a whole.
Like, here's the thing: if we're going to be transparent, right? So, all right. So there's a part where there's a humanity and empathy that all people deserve. If she's having your child, even if she's a terrible person, there's a level of empathy that does exist there for that huge effort, right? Because every situation is not ideal. Let's not pretend they are. I know, fellas, I get it. I'm not saying you owe or you must do. But here's what I am saying from a realistic human perspective. The ability of a person when they're busy building a person is different. And their whole body, like you're saying, at least she has to wear. Yeah, gone.
You get frustrated when she can't do something, and you're like, oh, you should be. Even if you listen, fellas, you can be moving so fast through your day that you might forget she's got a human being inside.
And it's not like, here's the thing. It's, you know how we expect, all right, a good woman says thank you. Stop me when I'm wrong about this, or tell me your thoughts on this. A good woman says thank you. A great woman says, I will give you rest. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for them to shoot a thank you. It's another for them to be like, right, I'm going to close this door. Leave him alone. You rest. I got this. Don't touch that door. Don't touch the door. You know what I mean? And normally I'll call your father, but for right now, don't really try me. Leave him alone. That you know, okay, that give you rest, right? So here's some real truth. The faster that you can give that to your wife, the better. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. And being able to give them room to have that space for you. And here's the thing. That's just you bonding time with your little one. If you're going to bond with your kid and take the time, then why not be able to do it that way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
that serves a dual purpose. Not only you being present, but also it's giving them some break and some rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I just want to read this comment.
Really of course, please.
And before I read the comment, heard, received, understood on it. Totally got that. That's key. That's big right there. This comment, I just want to read it because Food and Fellas said, I've been out, but I want to go to say, what programs can we start to help people coming home? Listen, I want to talk about SpeakDads as a program that can help our fathers. This show is not about incarceration, but I do want to take a time out to speak about a program that's on the inside of prison walls called Inside Outside Dad. It's a great program. And I'm actually speaking to Mr. Walton and a couple other individuals and facilitators on the inside, because I would like to see some of those fathers that are given an opportunity to be really present in their children's life going through this program to possibly transition into SpeakDads platform. Because a lot of our fathers, a lot of the men coming home, are fathers. A lot of us have to reset. A lot of us have to learn again how to be in people's lives, especially our children. So SpeakDads is an example of a program. And then, of course, message me. I'll say that too, because there's a bunch of other stuff going on. But Definitely love that. That's a great question, man. And we appreciate everybody checking in right now.
Love the mindset of moving forward, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And the willingness to really make an effort to help somebody in the transition is awesome, man. Good on you. Good
Come
on
on.
you, Food and Fell. Real talk. You know,
Ari says your content also helps me out a lot. Keep up the good work, homie. Make sure you keep checking into the Speak Dads platform, man, so we can have real conversation. If y'all got questions, please put them in the chats. Thank y'all.
that's awesome, man.
I wanted to just really speak to the men out there that may not have kids yet. I said I wanted to do this really quick. Because as my mentor told me at the baby shower, he's like, man, you are a mentor. He used the word you've birthed many into this world. He's I know where he was coming from. I'm fortunate enough to be a mentor and help a lot of young men, a lot of young people. And I was good with that in life. There was a place. I'll talk about some personal stuff here because my wife has opened up more, and I really feel like the men out there that have gone through this right now, hopefully y'all can feel this, right? But miscarriage is a real thing, right? Before me and my wife were able and blessed to be in this place right now, we went through 4 miscarriages, and it doesn't matter if they started one weekend, whatever, 2 months, whatever, right? It happened, and first I want to say I believe that our women feel pain far more than we can because they go through it physically and mentally. But the mental toll it takes on our men. And I was speaking to a gentleman today that recently went through the tragedy of miscarriage with his wife, and he's depressed and he's rocked and he doesn't have children. And I can remember being in that place. And to put it in even more transparent perspective, because this is real conversation, I remember my wife looking at me and saying, maybe you should leave so you can be with somebody that can give you a child. I'm not here to give anybody relationship advice, but I'm just here to tell you, man, anything in this life that you want, keep going forward in faith. I'm not here to tell anybody what to believe in either, but I'm just going to tell you what worked in my situation because there were plenty of moments where I felt inadequate. There were moments where I had buddies of mine that we ended up, our ladies got pregnant at the same time and they were able to keep going and we weren't. And I'm looking at, their children now and I'm happy, but I'm like, man, I got to get out here because I just got to go home. All these thoughts. And nobody really speaks about our guys that are going through this stuff. But I just want you to know, man, through Speak Dad's platform, you're not alone. We see you.
They're dads too.
Yeah,
there's guys I know that have really, some people that are really, really dear to me that I know would be amazing parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would hand my children to them and know that other than maybe being spoiled, not a bit of danger would come their way. You know what I mean? Like truly, without any question. Does that make sense? And that part of it, and knowing that they don't have littles of their own, and watching them be human and be omni-supportive of marriage and children and all that. It takes a big person to go through that portion of heartbreak. I remember losing a kid when I was much, much younger, like losing a baby. She's about 6 months pregnant, and that changed me. That experience changed me a lot.
Especially
oh yeah, that changed me a lot. And so when I see other people walking down what looks like a path I've been down, because I don't know everybody else's path, but when it looks like that part of it, my heart absolutely goes out to them. That's part of the thing that you find that's anonymous. Miscarriages are a lot more often than people know. In fact, there's so often that most of the time they tell you to not tell people until it's past 90 days so that they don't have to have that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that went on. I made the mistake of telling a bunch of people, but I was also I mean, my kids are fine, but I was super excited. I was so excited that I'm going to be a dad and there's twins coming. I wanted to tell the whole world about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no idea that like you're not supposed to tell anybody. I'm like, well, why? They're like, oh, well, because I was like, that's going to be your problem. And here's what I came down to with it. I said, if there's going to be, if they're going to be gone and they're not going to make it, then I'm going to enjoy every second I can. So I say seize the joy in the ways that you can, because I knew that if it wasn't going to happen, then there were, you know what I mean? Like there were some guys that like really had some wildly successful, beautiful families, all that I ran into that told me when my wife was pregnant with twins about like complications they'd had and stuff that their children persevered through. So I think there's a lot people can go through. And I think that, like you're saying, whether it's SpeakDads, whether it's here, wherever you go, like have some way to be able to have the conversation, not because you're unable, but because you want to maintain ability, and that means perspective. And even the best cartographers use a compass. Even the best people use a secondary. People that are amazing carpenters, they measure twice and then they cut once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They use something to true it. It's not just I'm an eyeball and I'm good. And I'm not saying that we can't do that for some parts, but for the larger whole, let's not have our ego in front of us and let's slow down and give ourselves room to be more successful. That way, if we say we got to work on something, then we really do, not just we had to try harder.
It's not a game.
Yeah.
And we have to treat ourselves accordingly, especially when it comes to trauma. And I thank God for this season, man. I thank God for being over 30 weeks, me and my wife. I thank God for healthy heartbeat and multiple kicks through the stomach. And I lay down and especially at the end of the day when I can finally, if I don't do anything else, I lay down, I put my head against her stomach and I talk, and I usually black out and I wake up and reposition. But there's something about surviving those other ones, those other moments, those tough moments. And that's to anybody that's out there, man, it may not make sense now. I didn't know if it ever would make sense. I had came to a place in my mind where I was good with it. I was at peace, and not healed. I want to say I was at peace with the fact I think that there was going to be a part of me that was always going to feel a little bit off. And I hope that's not the case for anybody, but I think it's important to express or talk about emotions and really hear somebody speak to it. Elliot just spoke to what he went through, and like you just mentioned, man, it happens way more than we think.
Oh yeah.
A lot of guys walking around with broken hearts and weight that they don't know how to carry, and not to take anything from our ladies, because honestly, I mean, I can only imagine, right? I can only imagine right now what my wife is going through mentally, especially earlier on, just on and pushing through it. Even with me, I think we discussed the paranoia because of the trauma from past experience. She'd wake up to go to the bathroom. Now not so much. Now not so much.
Oh, get all the sleep you can.
Yeah, well, yeah, but here's not so much. But I'm getting ready to. I feel like I'm getting ready to face some fears during the actual birth.
Yeah, it'll be good for you. You'll face a lot of fears.
Yeah, chances are slim. It doesn't happen often, but hey, it's like don't get on WebMD, don't get on ChatGPT, don't go.
Here's the thing about. Can I tell you something about having kids that exist?
Yeah.
Like once they get through that part, you don't have to worry about what could happen. Yeah. Enough's going to happen on its own that you have no control over, that you have to really enjoy the parts where it's okay. Because the extra worry, I don't mean that funny. I don't mean that as a disparaging comment. I mean, all right, let me be transparent. There's a lot of things that I probably don't do well in this world. But I come from a family that's pretty much experts on child development. So when I say I created a safe and fantastic learning environment that was optimal for my children, I mean it. Does that make sense? Huh?
do your children go to school, homeschool?
Now they do preschool 2 days a week. That's about the extent. Or I think they go 3 days a week. I think they do 3 days a week now, either 2 or 3 days a week. Nothing crazy though. They do. Yeah, they do. They do 3 days. They do Mondays and then Tuesdays. Yeah, they do 3. What we have is they do 2 days and then 1 day, and then you know what I mean. But they're never gone more than 3 days. And still, stuff's going to happen. They're going to catch it, the common cold, and it's going to be really hard on them because they're little teeny, and they're probably nothing worse than a sick little person that you can't fix, and you love them, and they're coughing, and you know what I mean? It's not about being a jerk. It's not about being any of those things. And for no reason, when one of her breasts swells up a little bit because it's hot, because it's not, the little one doesn't take as much milk on that side, and she's new to this, so she's not expressing as much as she could, and she's got to work harder on it and pump, even though it hurts really bad, even though there's a little blood, she's got to keep doing it. This is the real part of the loving somebody through process that's real. Hey, period. And this happens to almost everybody. So like people are like, oh, well, lactation coach, dude, let me make something clear to you. The hospital's going to offer you a lactation coach and postpartum. Say yes to both of them. The dumbest thing I ever did was say no to those. Do you know why? Because I answered for her, which she may or may not have needed. And you want everything the best for them, right? So at least they're not going to do you any wrong. The lactation coach just helps you with some techniques for how to hold the baby and helps you with some of that for her and you, right?
I need all the help. If she's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the postpartum lady, she's going to call and check on her in a couple weeks because it's pretty normal. Because there's 2 types of women. Either they know they have postpartum or they're in denial. But there's a hard part and there's an adjustment part. And hearing from another woman that's there to be careful and cares and
can you
actually,
I don't know. Can you? What are because we've thrown the title out.
Okay.
I've done some reading up, but for anybody that's watching this, what are some symptoms? What are some things that we may see in our women that are struggling with postpartum after giving birth? I think.
Okay. So let's try it like this. Imagine that her body speaks an entirely different language than it did right before it had that kid. Because it hasn't been about her and what she wanted. It's been about making that baby happen.
Right.
Then that baby that was in her all the time, that she woke up and it was there and kicks and, you know what I mean, always there with me all the time, is now away. And there's a part of that that feels emptying or different. And there's not a part where you're saying that somebody has to be terrible with it, but there's a part where it's going to be harder for somebody to process through some parts of that. And giving your wife or partner, whoever they are, room to be human in that process would be helpful. So imagine you have a really smart woman and all of a sudden she's not smart anymore. Okay, well, some of that's going to be normal because all the energy is being sucked out of her.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Or all of a sudden they don't want to be near you in the same way. Well, believe it or not, if they're nursing, that process of nursing stops them from having the same level of desire. It's not about you.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of ways that what happens is we imagine that we are omnipresent or that we are in charge of more than we are. So you can be an amazing husband, an amazing father, and still be going through it with your wife on the strength of whatever she's going through. And it's not necessarily your fault. I'm not saying guys don't deserve accountability. I'm not saying women are wrong when they say guys are jerks. I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is this. You know how when you go through a big trauma, you're not supposed to make big decisions until after you figure out how to level out and deal with that new reality?
Yeah.
A baby coming out of you is a pretty big deal, right?
I would say so.
It would have some changes to your reality.
I would say that'd be a whole shift to me physically, mentally, emotionally, yeah.
Okay. And your level of dependence just went up exponentially.
So there's no really rest to reset.
No. And now
to rest and reset and get reacclimated.
Right. And now going away from you is a whole different thing. So my independence quotient just changed directly. I gave him a baby and now I need him at a whole different level than I did before.
I stopped my travel to if I do any travel through February, In and out, same day.
You know what I mean? And it's not about being ugly with anybody. It's just kind of like how it ends up happening, right? Like those are the facts of life. Because somebody's care the baby, and when they're little teeny, the best place for them to be is near mama in the beginning.
Right. But I gotta back her up so she can be there for him.
Right. But she stopped being her anymore. It doesn't matter what she wants. It matters about the baby right now. And
my fault.
No, I mean, I'm saying, like, think about it. Like, even if she's amazing, the better mom she is, the less it's going to be about her and the more it's going to be about the baby in some ways. Because in the beginning, she's trying to make sure that little stuff's got everything he needs. That comes at a cost.
I remember, I told you last week, but one part of the conversation I had, basically, if anybody's hadn't seen last week's, I was talking to a gentleman, and he said in so many words that he had an amazing woman that he was married to that gave him 2 children. They're 8 and 9 years old now. And he said if he could do anything, he would go back in time and have more understanding about postpartum and what she was going through after giving him those 2 amazing children. Because if he had taken the time to learn more, be more patient, offer more grace, he'd still be married. And he regrets it. And he's not the only gentleman that I've heard make comments. And not for nothing, I started to wonder, like, how many times, not just dealing with postpartum, but just people that are struggling with any type of mental illness or just maybe
trauma, anything,
depression. But we're not taking that into consideration. And we don't know that we're actually dealing with the trauma, what they're going through versus them themselves. And that's kind of the hard strain. And that's what I got from the brother that said that he couldn't separate the two. He couldn't look at who his wife was through who she became through this experience of childbirth.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say a hard truth that I believe in. Okay, let me start by saying I believe that everybody has a choice, and I respect everybody's choices and the resultant decisions they make because I do not walk your path. Right. So I have no judgment for anybody else, but you're gonna have to decide. You either are working to stay married or you're working on a divorce. And when you face these things, you're going to have to really look at it. And when you decide how somebody's going to treat you and whether they're going to be with you forever, you might want to wait more than a year or 2 to make that decision. You might be somebody that makes it quickly and that works well for you. And I'm not knocking those result patterns. Again, I'm not perfect, so I'm far be it for me to judge somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a kid, they're learning a whole new reality. So are you. What time are you going to eat? What are they going to eat? Do they have some kind of crazy allergy? Is everything okay? All these things have to be priorities. You now have to go to doctor's appointments, and you have to listen so that even if she has brain fog or low blood sugar, then you still understand what's going on. Because it's going to take her a while to get back to being super smart, no matter how super smart she is. All of her reserves have been drained by a little person. Everything, right down to the calcium in her teeth.
I can talk. She did a post. She lost the tooth. She had to.
Okay, so
my wife got perfect teeth. She got them
right. Right. So that came at a cost. And if she was a normal human being and one day decided that she was aggravated at your portion of the process in that would be normal. Times 100 different perspectives, moments, or times, and times 100 different ways that somebody's a human being. So part of that math is that you build a justifiable case. So here's what I learned, okay? I can't make somebody else happy, but I can say, these are the efforts that I make. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I know that from a realistic standard, I'm not leaving somebody alone. And I don't mean that like, hey, I couldn't do better. I mean it like, hey, so I do Speak Dads on Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays with you. Wednesday nights, I'm working on a Bible study. Wednesday mornings, a prayer stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. That means on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, I put the babies to sleep. At least 2 or 3 nights a week, I'm going to make dinner. Guaranteed. You know what I mean? And it's going to be good and taste good and all that stuff. That give and take, you're going to find. Some of it you can ask for, some of it you have to take. But some of it you have to forcibly give her space to find her again. Just like you're a dad now, that fills out your manhood. Okay, right? But there was a cost to you being a single guy for you to become a husband. There's a cost to her woman, in some ways, to be a mom.
Right.
So she's giving that gift freely and truly, but that's also not the easiest scenario for everybody. And that takes a little bit of adjustment. So some of it, I think, naturally is we are learning what to expect, because you can't expect them to be the exact same person they just gave you a kid. That changes somebody. If I break both your arms, it would count, right? Okay. They go through enough pain to break both your arms. Every like study in pain in the world says this. They go through that much pain to have a kid. Okay, so if they go through that much, then it changes them. You've seen that condition grown men to do all kind of stuff. Amen?
Amen.
Okay. All right. So if that's going to change a man, you're telling me that human nature stops and we expect a woman to not be changed by this remarkably painful experience that follows up with with dependence at a different level? I'm not saying they shouldn't take accountability. You know what I mean? I'm just saying give it a little bit of grace, because they're going through it, fam. Like, it's real. Even if they make light of it and they're rude and all kind of, I'm not saying all the extra stuff. I'm not talking about that. I mean, just
I take that stuff like a champ now. Now, when early on, I was glitching out. I was thinking, hold on, but now, even if I felt the way, if she threw something, I can see her going through it now. Like, there was my wife is tough. 7 Mile, Detroit. My wife was one of the first female rappers in Detroit with a record label. They called her Vicious.
right.
From
I
7 Mile.
believe it.
She's only 4'9", though. But anyways, evidently back in the day but she's one of probably the toughest person I know, because she's like in line with my grandma, like one of those type, right? And I thought it was gonna be like literally like 2 weeks ago. I was like, yo, she's doing good. I'm like, I'm so grateful, yo. And now I'm blessed with two things. As I was opening up with towards the beginning, I get to see how much she was doing around here. I get to see how many spaces she was present in just to make everything go. And in the midst of this, she's dealing with the thoughts of, well, I can't do that right now, so I'm inadequate, which is crazy to me, because again, you're growing a human being. Like, chill, please. But the other thing is, I really get to see her strength, man.
Yes.
You know, and there's something like really, it hits deep, because you can see your wife or your girl, whatever, it's strong in certain moments, but when she's enduring something to make sure that you guys can have this blessing, that's a whole nother.
It's a different level of fight. And that level of huge fight, they're not built to have all the time, not every second. I'm not detracting from their ability as women to fight. I'm saying after they fought that fight and they do well, be the empathy you wish existed in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just for that moment. And life afterward, I get it. Nobody's saying mess, whatever, all that.
Right.
But there's a part where having a kid, it's beautiful, man. Like you're saying, it's hard. It's a kind of hard that you can't possibly know. And if, like, one of the coolest things that I found was in being present for that time, I gave somebody else some room. Because if you could, you would have done 4 months worth of work, right? Or 4.5 months of the work. Okay, you'd have taken your half, but your half doesn't come then. Your half comes. You know what I mean? And that presence part, dude, their hormones are crazy. Everybody, I mean, insane crazy. Like they like, and I'm not being funny. I mean, because they're building another human being, so they've got a huge surplus of literal hormones. So it's not like, it's like they're on steroids. They're not trying to be a lunatic, but they're ready to go do the thing their body made them to do. It's their personal Olympics.
Right.
Yeah, man.
I was just sitting here because we're nearing the end of the hour until next week. I was like, it's almost 9 p.m. where I'm at. It's after 9 o'clock. I was like, I'm tired, and she sent me a text just now. She wants me to go to Walmart to get the total body pregnancy pillow thing. And for like, well, I tried it. I tried. Anyways, I gotta make sure she don't run into it. I don't know if she's wrong.
Be living in a movie in the middle of the night talking about.
Anyway,
yeah.
But for 2 seconds, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to go to Walmart. It's 9 o'clock, and then I remembered, you bet not even fix your mind. You're
going to Walmart.
You're tripping. Oh, I'm on my way.
No, yeah,
I'm on.
There's no question.
Yeah, I'm
pickles and ice cream. What do you think they were talking about?
The list is still going. I don't know what else she's put on.
The baby needs some peach cobbler. The baby needs a bit of pound cake.
Dad needs some too. Peach cobbler.
Yeah, what do you know what I mean? Like
that's
my mom peach cobbler. I tell you, you know what? I will give her flowers. My wife, though she is from the Caucasus region, blonde hair, blue eyes, I promise you, can make some peach cobbler.
Hey.
And I mean,
hey,
you know what?
If you can throw that,
I was truly like this. Okay, and she thought I was gassing. I'm like, no, like for real. Like I would never lie to you about peach cobbler.
If you can throw down, you can throw down. Shout out.
She throw down. She throw down in the oven, peach cobbler. Yeah, she does it right. But that part, the part you're running her about, like, yeah, man, you're gonna get a bunch of that. And shout out to wait till God help you. You're gonna learn a bunch in the coolest of ways because you're gonna get drugged. Because being a decent father, you're getting drugged. Being a bad father, you're getting drugged. You're gonna get drugged either way. You know what I mean? At least you get some FaceTime with them. And like in the beginning, they don't do anything, which is cool because you have to watch them to make sure that they sleep. I sound crazy when I say this, right? You will be watching him to make sure he's okay sleeping.
No.
They'll be like, yo, what's up? No, I'm good.
Yeah, I already know. Especially
you're crazy when they send you home. That's crazy because you're because you're the whole time, right? You're like, my baby, protect him. Nobody can touch him. Then when it's time for them to go home and you're like, hold on. So I go home and none of y'all are here. What happens if something happens? Why don't we raise children here in the baby ward?
I'm all ready.
You know what I mean? Like literally. Yeah.
I'm blit the blur. And out my bunch as we had all the family over and all that. They refer to me as the Vin Diesel of the Fast and Furious bunch. I'm that guy. So I don't know how anything runs without me in this world, or I'm not around. I have. We'll discuss that on next.
You unplug for a few days. You have to. Here's the thing. No. There's one thing you must do. You must set up protocols and disappear for a week.
Oh, that's definitely. Well, that's gonna happen. The type of work
that disappear.
Anyways,
you must disappear. No. This is This is shirt off. You, mama, baby boy.
Oh,
This is y'all walking around the house, shirt off, bonding time.
Yeah.
All the Indian moments, all that for real.
Oh, yeah.
That's all that. And then return back to the horrific moment that is the world and step away from your Shangri-La. But for that moment, yes, you give them that.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. Let me tell you something. 90% of kids' development somewhere in that neighborhood, like brain development, happens before 5 or by 5.
Oh, I believe it.
Like some massive portion of it, percentage-wise. And so that's why we elected for. That's why we made the decisions we did. There's a guy that I told you. I say this right. That guy gave me the shout out. Told me, watch out. Be there for your kids. It's what the wealthy do.
I fought. Here's the other thing to my brothers that are still waiting to be fathers. One thing that I did is, as we get ready to bring this one to a close, I still worked diligently in faith, preparing the moment the best that I could. I'm not God for this now. So I think God, like, my wife's retired.
Feather the nest, you had to be ready. Like when it happened, I was like, oh, well.
My wife is stay at home. You know, so we're fortunate, and I work from this, and I get to be present basically as much as I want, and I'm grateful for that. But I know so many fathers don't have that opportunity, man, and want to be. So
It takes 3 minutes a day while they're little, by the way, real quick. I'm sorry. It takes 3 minutes. If you spend 3 minutes a day with the kid when they're little teeny, they don't know the difference. Like they don't know about time, distance, how long you're there, how long you're not. They have no concept of it for like the first year or two. So if you just spent 3 minutes twice a day focused on just them, it to them triggers a whole different thing in a positive way.
I'm gonna be hours locked in with them.
Oh yeah.
I'm setting up the bassinet in the office with me, all that. But I want to take the time out to acknowledge all the fathers that are out there breaking their backs, going to work 4 in the morning, can't come home till 6 at night. I want to take the time out to acknowledge the fathers coming home with the arthritis, hands banged up, dealing with jobs or situations they don't necessarily want to do
Yeah.
because they want their family to be okay, man. We do it. I remember garbage truck, warehouses, freezer, cherry pick, whatever, doing what we got to do.
Mold remediation, doing tile, concrete all over me in my nose and hair. What? No, what?
All of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Got pictures to prove it. Yes, absolutely.
So shout out to the dads, man. We see y'all. Your effort
Yes, we do.
Not going under or overlooked. And to anybody, man, make sure you check us out on SpeakDads. Punch it in your search bar, website will pop up. You get a bunch of information. If not, you can message Elliot Raphael.
Absolutely.
You can reach out to me. You can comment on one of the posts. We're all over the place. We're all over all the social media platforms.
Absolutely.
And at the end of the day, we're just here to support not just me and Elliot, but a multitude of other individuals that are part of the SpeakDads community.
There's a whole team. There's a whole team over there.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what branch of the military, where you're from. I got somebody.
Yeah. Elliot, give us some closing thoughts on the way up out of here today.
Absolutely. Man. All right, listen. So check me out. So when you go through something, instead of judging how you could have done it differently, judge how you're going to do it after. You can't change how you're going to do it differently. That's never going to happen. There's no redos. It's how you do it after. So once you train yourself to focus on how you do it after, you're also training on how to focus on how to survive. That speaking yourself into the next portion of tomorrow is one of the tactics that people use for helping somebody. I don't ask somebody what they're going to do next week. I ask them what they're going to do tomorrow. That's the first step, is always see you tomorrow. So we appreciate you. Thank you very much, guys.
Wisdom. Thank y'all. Thank you, Elliot. This is SpeakDads. We'll be back next Thursday, 7 p.m.
Yes, we will. Appreciate you guys.
Questions. Yeah, please, man. Keep bringing the questions, the interaction. We've seen y'all tonight, and we really appreciate
Absolutely.
it. We value
Thank you.
And keep being a voice for yourself. Keep advocating for yourself.